Calling All Girls from Josie Cotton's new Pussycat Babylon album. Josie is my guest on Revenge of the 80s Radio. Josie, we've talked about some of the tracks independently, but overall, what do you want people who listen to Pussycat Babylon to know about you as an artist?
I want them to know as little as possible. I'd like to be invisible, actually, so that they just hear what I do, and that's not going to be possible. So I am the face to the sounds I make, and I don't know. I think the songs speak for themselves. I in a way, they are entities to themselves, and I feel often that I'm just channeling the stuff. I don't feel like I make it. I feel like I fine tune it. It comes through me, and I'm just a radio, basically, from another plane, to take it into B-movie terms.
Now, Josie, along with your new original tracks are two remixes of the song you're best known for, Johnny, Are You Queer? In one of them, you even added a rap to it by an interesting duo called Elephant. Tell us a bit about that one.
It's funny. I had finished the record. I was all set to put it out. There were no Johnny remixes on it at all, and I was working with a manager and various people who urged me to do a remix of Johnny, and I had always wanted to do something along that line, and it seemed like the perfect time, but I did have to go kicking and screaming into that decision, because I did not want to go through it again, and there were so many questions around, is it still socially viable? Is it still funny? Is it still edgy? And if it was no to any of those, then I didn't really see the point in doing it, because part of that song was the time. People use the word queer now. It doesn't have the same effect on people. So it was really tricky. And the reason I used the version with Elephant was because when they put their rap on it, that was the first version I did, it absolutely caused this whole reaction very similar to when I first put that song out. People were upset. People were threatened. People were laughing. They were embarrassed. They were angry. And I thought it was so great, because it reminded me of Johnny, Are You Queer? And that's the kind of reaction you want. And so I had to clean it up. I mean, they're really edgy, these guys. And it became really interesting to me to wonder, why was it okay in our culture for black musicians to be angry and to be edgy, and in hip-hop in general, any race, why weren't gay guys allowed to be risque and angry? And that became the question of the day, and people were threatened to quit. They were all up in arms, and that just makes me light up, because if you're not offending someone, you're doing something wrong, and you can quote me.
Yeah, if you're not offending somebody, you're putting somebody to sleep. That's what you're doing.
That's right. So that was my decision to put them on that, to put them on that single. And right now they're really blowing up. They at first were greeted with, well, the gay community doesn't like hip hop. They're not speaking for anyone. They're too young. They're too gay. It's every number of any number of reactions to them. And now it seems like it's causing quite a sensation. And so it's great to see them work out in that way.
From a technical standpoint, Josie, it really does mix in rather well.
I was worried about it. I didn't know if it fit the record, and there are probably 8 or 9 remixes of this song that we threw out there, and at one point I just stopped listening to them all. I was like, I can't hear it one more time. Please, somebody stop with the Johnny Are You Queer? But I was glad because it did chart. I mean, I was on the Billboard dance charts the first time in a very long time, so that was kind of thrilling. And to reconnecting with the gay community, you know, they're wonderful fans, and you know, I'm just going where the love is, Chris. Where, you know, wherever I sense love, I'm there.
What you need to do, Josie, is to get a little bit more attention for this song. Drop a copy to Jan Crouch's office again. She'll probably help you out a little bit like last time.
Oh, right. Yeah, they, I'm sure they're loving the rebirth of the song.
I'll send her a CD, say compliments of me, thank you for everything.
Okay. That's a great idea. They are people I love to irritate.
Josie, if one really breaks down the song, it's not very offensive, to be honest with you. But it's more likely that more than a few girls have had the same feelings for a guy who might not play for the same team, but the girls weren't sure, like what was described in this song. It's really just a regular situation.
It is a regular situation, and it was an innocent song. It's something that grabbed people's attention. I think they had never heard that word used in polite conversation before, and that was part of the humor angle of it. It was shocking to people. It's not shocking now, but it's odd because once in a while I will hear from certain few gay guys, not very many, but they still find that word offensive, which is odd to me since Queer Nation is, you know, such a big organization and whatnot. So it's desensitizing us to a word is all, and I think, you know, that word is in our culture now.
If you dig hard enough, Josie, you'll find somebody who's offended by something.
Yeah, you can always find someone. You know, like I said, if they're not offended, I'm offended.
Josie, the other Johnny Are You Queer remix on Pussycat Babylon is a dance hit already.
Yes, the one on the record is a Danny Hot Wheel remix, and it was on the Billboard dance charts last month at 44, which is pretty good when you haven't been on there in a really long time. So that was one of the ones, and there were many different remixers involved. And like I said, I had to stop listening at some point. It was just so many. I couldn't hear anymore.
Coinciding with the release of Pussycat Babylon, you have a Johnny Are You Queer video contest that people can find more about on your website, josiecotton.com. But tell us about the contest.
Basically, it came about because back in the day, Elektra Records was so terrified of the song, they canceled the video shoot the night before we were shooting it, so there was never a video per se. And then over the years, there were so many people creating little videos with various actors, Johnny Depp, Johnny Knoxville and whatnot, and being Johnny. And so we thought it would be fun to see what people could come up with. And there's cash prize. We thought cash is better than, dumb prizes. So people are just downloading them, and it's just pretty much getting started right now. It's $1,000 and other prizes going down. So, it's just something fun to see what people come up with.
How can our listeners enter if they're interested?
They could go to my website and download their images. It's also on YouTube. It's probably Googleable, if that's a word.
Googleable, I like that. That's a great word. I think we should add that to the dictionary. Googleable, like Google-rific.
Googleable.
How are the videos being judged?
They're being judged. One is how many hits they get. The other is if I like it. I'm a judge, and and other factors involved. I am not really sure exactly what the criteria is, but there is criteria, and someone has it, and they will use it.
Listeners can find out more about how to enter and check out the videos that are already up there on YouTube and josiecotton.com. That's Josie's website. By the way, you're sort of revamping it right now. What might we see on that in the near future?
I'm trying to make it more concise. I was told that it was a little rambling, and you had to take off all the flash because if you can't see it on your phone now, it's not a website really. So basically, I'm simplifying. I'm eliminating a lot, and I'm going to be talking more about the news and being more present on it, and just kind of more, there for people if they want to contact me.
Josie, any live shows coming up this year?
Yes, I'm going to be performing at the Winter Music Conference in Miami at the beginning of this month, and so I'm excited about that. And we'll be doing other shows, I'm sure, in San Francisco. Something's lined up, and so I'm just putting all that together right now. But yeah, in the next 3 weeks in Miami for sure. Josie,
are there any artistic ventures you might be working on that we would be seeing over the horizon?
I am working on something. I can't say exactly what it is, but I am writing a musical with a few people that I'm very excited about, and I'm doing a couple more videos, probably 3 more videos for this record, trying to promote this Pussycat Babylon as much as I can and begin recording probably at the end of the year for the next psychological outing that I call my record.
I like that, psychological outing. That sounds even better. I should start calling my radio show a psychological outing. Josie, thank you again for coming on Revenge of the 80s Radio with me.
Well, you're so very welcome, Chris. It's always fun to talk to you.
I'd love to have you on again very, very soon. The album is Pussycat Babylon by Josie Cotton. You can get it from our Amazon store on our website, revengeofthe80sradio.com. That's revengeofthe80sradio.com. And you can also get it on josiecotton.com. josiecotton.com. Josie, we just talked about it, so we're going to play one of the new remixes of Johnny Are You Queer from Pussycat Babylon. This is Josie Cotton featuring Elephant with Johnny Are You Queer on Revenge of the 80s Radio.